Hello, Sarah, I see you. So we're just settling upon the earth. Any cushions or support that you'd like, you can bring them in. You guys are just going to find your restful place upon the ground. I'll be seated a little longer to let any of our latecomers in. There we go, I can see. We're finding our place upon the earth. A lovely opportunity to let the body settle. Just to let ourselves breathe. If you've just joined us, we're laying down upon the ground. I'm just seated so I can talk to you a little easier. So feel free to make your way down to a laying position that feels comfortable for you. And that can be flat, that can be soft knees, whatever you like, as long as you feel comfortable and feel that you can be here for a few minutes and be in a place that feels really enjoyable on a warm day. Just settle upon the earth, maybe breathe, maybe relax the body a little. And just take a little time to arrive here in our practice. A little time to be here in the present moment. So how does our body feel right now? Do we feel easeful and calm and ready for a bit of a stretch and a move? Do we feel a bit weary? Do we feel a bit tired in the heat? Are we not sure? Doesn't matter, we're just checking in. Little markers of how we may feel can help guide our practice. If we've gathered busy thoughts or little stresses through the week, we'll just pop them at the side of the room if we can. This is not a, unfortunately, magic spell to release every busy thought or every stress, but sometimes just giving ourselves a chance to rest, cast them aside for a little while, just makes us feel a little calmer, a little stronger when the time comes to pick them up again, and maybe a few things fall away by the wayside. Finally, as we sink and settle here, easeful. If we are somewhere nice and warm, maybe we just feel that warmth around us, holding us, sinking into our body, our bone. A soothing, calming warmth. What a wonderful thing it is to have these all day. Just going to take a few more easeful moments here, just a chance to be peaceful and calm and just settle as best we can today in this moment. Beautiful. So just when you feel ready from a restful place upon the earth, let's soften the knees, pop the soles of the feet on the floor. We'll take the arms wide upon the ground if that's comfortable, and we're just going to take a nice, easeful tick-tock with the knees, so like windscreen wipers. But just let this movement be whatever you want it to be. So move as slowly, as gently as you like. If anyone's working with tenderness in the low back, you can be a little slower, a little more careful. If you're just enjoying a little kind of stretch and a wiggle along the way, feel free. Enjoy. Little movement, nicely. Beautiful. So we'll take our time with our little supine twist. So we'll let the knees fall over to the right, we'll let the gaze fall over to the left. You can take as long as you like to settle if you want to readjust what the arms are, if you want to bring cushions under the knees. Feel free just to take some time to feel that this is a place that you can settle, that you can breathe. Lovely. And we'll just breathe here. I found a little extract of a book just this morning, actually, and I'll read it to you. Yeah, because it seemed very appropriate. Resting is doing. You do not always need to be busy. You don't need to justify your existence in terms of productivity. Rest is an essential part of survival, an essential part of us, an essential part of being the animals that we are. When a cat lies in the sun, I imagine it does so without guilt, because as far as I can tell, cats seem more in tune with their own needs. As I grow older, I think that resting might actually be the main point to life. To sit down passively, inside or outside, and merely absorb things. A tick of a clock, a cloud passing by, a bird singing, the distant hum of traffic. It can actually feel and be more meaningful than a lot of the stuff we are taught to see as productive. Just as we need pauses between notes for music to sound good. Just as we need punctuation in a sentence for it to be coherent. We should see rest and reflection and passivity, even just sitting on the sofa, as an intrinsic and essential part of life that is needed for the whole to make sense. That's very relevant to our nice easeful practice today. Moving and dynamic is fantastic. We need those pauses as well to make sense. So when you're ready, we're just going to journey the knees over to the left and the gaze to the right. So we're just going to journey to the other side. Again, take as long as you need to feel comfortable, to feel restful. Easeful breaths, just settling into our place. Hello, Mary. I can see that you've just joined us. We're just doing our little supine twists on the ground. So if you want to lay on the earth, hello, lovely, you made it. We're just laying on the ground, supine twists. So take a few breaths on one side and then a few on the other. And you can just join us here. No rush, no hurry. You can do the little movement if you like, or whatever you wish. It's far too hot to worry too much about lefts and rights and catching up and all sorts this morning. So we'll just find our place, easeful breaths. It's that funny paradox of celebrating the idea of being still and doing nothing. And actually, while doing nothing, lots is happening. The body is taking time to settle, and parts of the body, the muscles, are finding space, and little things like the blood pressure might be just settling a little bit, or our mind might be stilling. So it's that funny thing of enjoying being still, but also in a way knowing that good things are happening while we're being still. But those things will happen whether we think about them or not. So we don't have to reflect on them. It's all too much of a paradox for a Sunday morning. So when you feel ready, we'll bring the knees and the gaze back up to the sky. From here, we're going to move into that lovely reclining butterfly pose. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to let the knees fall out either side like a butterfly. Beautiful. Now, this can need some support sometimes. So sometimes we feel that we want cushions underneath the knees. And whilst the warmth is lovely for softening the muscles, sometimes we find that the muscles stretch just a little too strongly. Maybe it feels like it's falling away a little bit and feeling very strong. So bring the cushions in, bring the blocks in if you like, or just enjoy basking here. Yeah, like a cat in the sun. And just know that you can readjust any point or bring support in if you need it. Lovely opener for hips and heart is particularly nice for bringing the awareness to the center of the body, to the rise and fall of the breath. Again, lovely for a hot day just to take those lovely deep breaths. So we're just kind of tempering the element of fire with the element of earth as we rest on the ground, and the element of air as we take those beautiful, deep and easeful breaths. We're just going to take a few more moments, a few more breaths here. If you need to move, if you want to wiggle or readjust. Really nice. So what we'll do from here is we'll just gently draw the knees back together. And then we're just going to hug the knees in towards us. So we're just going to come into a little tuck for a moment. And we'll take a little freestyle movement here. So you can rock and roll side to side. You can do some little circles. You can do some little wiggles with the feet if you like. So whatever feels nice for you. You can rock and roll, you can sway, whatever you like. Or you can just take a moment in stillness if you'd rather just be still. So from here, let's release the soles of the feet back to the earth. We're going to roll to our comfortable side in that little yogi recovery pose, just for a breath or two. When you feel ready, we're going to push into the earth. We're going to rise up. We're going to come to a wide-legged seated position. So take your time. There's no rush. You can take as long as you need to get to this place. And as always, have the legs as close together if you like. If this is wide legs for you, that's absolutely fine. If this is really strong, then just bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet on the floor so you can be here if that's going to work for you today. So lots of little variations. So from our wide legs, whatever that is, nice and tall through the torso, we're going to take our spiral twist from the wide legs. So I'll mirror you. We'll take our right hand and just bring it on the outside of the left thigh. Other hand's going to come on the earth behind you, and we're just going to use the hands to gently spiral around. Really nice. Take it just as far as you like, so be gentle or be a little stronger if you wish. Sit bones rooted in the earth, nice and tall through the spine. And just when you feel ready, we're going to unravel. We're going to take it round to the other side. Just slow and steady, just finding our way round. Really nice. So from here, let's unravel back to center. We're just going to bring the hands to the earth in front of us. We're going to come into that gentle fold. So take your time with the long spine, just to hinge from the hips and maybe just kind of walk or slide the hands forward. And we'll just take our time. If you're just going to do a tilt today, that's lovely. You might just tilt forwards and let the head hang. If you want to work a little further and kind of walk the hands, that's lovely. If you prefer to grab hold of your legs or ankles, if that feels more secure, then feel free to do so. But just remember not to kind of use that to kind of drag yourself down towards the earth. Be gentle. Be gentle and kind. And when we found our place, we'll let the head hang heavy. Remember, there's lots of options. You can be super soft in the knees if you like. It doesn't have to be one of those poses that you really don't look forward to. You can find an easeful place with you. We'll take a few more breaths here. A moment. And when you're ready, gently rest. Beautiful. So let's take our time to gently scoop the knees in, and we're going to journey to a tabletop position. We're in all fours, we're in our tabletop. We're going to move into a downward facing dog in a moment. If that feels a bit much for your summer day, then you can come into the puppy dog instead. So puppy dog is hips above knees, walking hands forward, resting forehead on the earth. So puppy dog is your alternative option. If you want to join me in down dog, we'll spread the fingertips nice and wide on the earth, we'll tuck the toes, we're going to lift the hips. Beautiful. You can take that little kind of pedaling movement as if you're in a little stepping machine if you like. This is just a nice way to get into the back of the Achilles tendon, the back of the legs, a little bit of a stretch. Move. We'll just take some easeful breaths, either in our down dog or our puppy dog. That might mean continued movement, it might mean nice and still, whatever feels appropriate for you as you settle in. And then if you're in the down dog with me, we're just going to do 3 little tippy toe movements. So we're just going to come up onto our tippy toes. We're trying to lift our hips high to the sky as possible. Breath. And then we're going to gently lower the hips down. And then we're just going to do that twice more in our own time. So come up onto your toes when you're ready. Take a nice slow easeful breath and then gently bring that down. I'll do it just one more time. Down. And then slow and steady from the down dog, we're going to roll forward into the high plank. So just for a breath, we're going to hinge forward, strong through the body. We're going to take a lovely inhale, a lovely exhale. And then slow and steady, we're going to drop the knees to the earth, untuck the toes. We're going to sink back into child's pose, but you can journey there any way you like. So if you're used to doing the little vinyasa to get here, you can do that. So we're dropping back into a nice easeful child's pose. Take your time if you prefer to have nice wide knees, so you've got a lot of space in the belly and chest. You can take nice wide knees. If you prefer to wrap your hands towards your toes, then maybe the knees are a little narrower. Whatever you want to do for your child's pose today. Chance to settle on the earth once more, to breathe. We'll take a few more moments here, a few more breaths. A few more moments in that lovely grounding of the child's pose. We think of the world in terms of elements. We've all felt perhaps what it is to feel a little too fiery. It's hot and we're rushing around and we feel a little burnt out. We often know that the remedy to that fieriness is maybe to come to ground, to settle, to be still, maybe to bring in cooling water or easeful air. I think our body already knows what to do. It's always useful just to slow down and listen all the same. As we rise gently from the child's pose, we'll just bring the hands under shoulders so we can lift your head and heart. And then from here, what we'll do is we'll bring bum to earth. We're going to sweep the legs around with the soles of the feet together, but we're going to create more of a diamond shape than usual. So imagine that the heels are kind of 2 hands lengths or something similar in front of the hips. So often with cobbler's pose, we're kind of drawing in. We're going to create a bit more space today. So we've got this lovely diamond shape with the soles of the feet together. And then from here, from our fold, we've got a couple of options. The one we've done before is with the palms facing upwards. We can thread the hands underneath the legs so that we can hinge forward, drawing the head towards the feet. If that feels a little too much, a little too close today, feel free just to bring the hands and let the elbows sort of fall out either side and let the head hang heavy. So take your time to play around with what feels best, what feels like a place where you can breathe and settle for a moment. When you feel ready, we'll rise up. And then we're going to come to the reclining version of this pose. So take your time, check you've got space behind you. You can leave the feet far away or you can draw them in a little bit. You can lay down upon the earth and you can mirror the shape of the legs with the arms if you like. So you can have the hands overhead and the elbows falling out. If it's more comfortable to have the arms wide or hands resting on your body, feel free to make any variations you'd like. So we're returning to that reclining butterfly pose. It might be the same one we did earlier, it might be a little different now. If it's comfortable for you. Again, take as long as you need to bring in support if you want something underneath the knees. If it just feels a little too much on the hips or inner thighs, feel free just to bring the knees together instead, and you can be restful here. When you feel ready, we'll bring the hands alongside the body just to help draw the knees back together. And what we'll do is we'll hug the knees back in, so we're coming into that tuck once more. And again, with any freestyle movement you wish, or if you want to join me with some circles, we can pick a direction and take a few circling movements with the knees in one direction. And when you're ready, we'll take it in the other direction. And when you're ready, we're going to hug the knees back inwards, and then we'll draw into our happy baby. So knees widen down towards the armpits, soul shines skywards, and we're taking hold perhaps of the outside edges of the feet or the toes. If that's a little much, we can hold on to ankles, or even let the feet drop and hold on to knees. There are lots of variations. We're getting that lovely wideness of hip. And then we can be still, or we can do a little side, sway to sway, sway to sway, side to side. Side to side sway, that's the sentence I was going for. But we can have a little sway, a little wiggle, a little movement, whatever we like. Just a few more breaths wherever we are. And when you're ready, we'll release the feet. We're going to hug the knees back into the final time. Tuck. And then from here, we're going to send the legs long along the ground, arms long overhead. We're going to have that lovely long stretch through the body, little wiggle or shimmy if we like. And then from here, still flat on the ground, we just come to that little crescent moon shape. So we slide our hands to top right corner, feet to bottom right corner, so we create that little crescent shape through the body. Doesn't have to be a huge movement, just finding a little space. And when you're ready, we're just going to ease it over to the other side. So we're just going to take hands and feet over to the left and just create that little crescent moon. And from here, we'll just come back to center and we'll just take a stretch in any way we like. So you might want to do the long line, you might want to spread out like a starfish. You might have a little pose or a wiggle or a stretch that you'd like to do, whatever you wish. You are free to move, to twist, to wiggle, to listen to the body with anything it has to say about what it might want to do or how it might want to move. Really lovely. So what we'll do here is we're just going to take a minute to get ready for our Savasana, our relaxation and meditation time. So if you're taking a little time to do a few poses that you like, feel free to continue. You can take a moment to do your favorite pose that you like to do before you settle. If your favorite pose before Savasana is taking a sip of your tea or your drink, then that's fine by me. Have a drink, take a moment, whatever you like. This is your time. You might be flat on the ground. You might want to take a seat somewhere, whatever you like. There is no rush, there's no hurry to find our place on a warm Sunday. Beautiful. So if you are ready to settle, feel free to settle. You might want to close your eyes. You might want to find any support, cushions blankets perhaps, you never know. Wherever you'd like to be, we'll find that place. Once more, as we began the practice, that lovely idea of just being held. We're being held by the earth beneath us. We're being held by warmth and sunshine. And we're taking that time in this place where we're held, we're safe, we're easeful. Within that space, we can draw our awareness inwards. So away from busyness, away from stress, away from the news, anything we want to draw our awareness away from for just a little break. So we draw our awareness inwards to how our body feels settled upon the earth, how the muscles feel as we allow them to relax and maybe release any little spaces we've been holding on to perhaps. How the breath feels as it rises and falls. That sensation of the tummy and chest moving with the breath. Maybe the feeling of warmth upon our skin. Just allowing for a few precious minutes our whole universe to be just this precious little space upon our mat. Letting the layers of the day or the week or the busy world fall away. As we draw inwards to the inner landscape of heartbeat, of muscle and bone, of breath. And of allowing those elements to be restful and calm. And as the warmth and light of the day, of the sun surrounds us, and in taking this time to be restful, be calm and be easeful, perhaps we envisage our own little inner sunlight, our own inner light, being gently and lovingly recharged, reignited, reawoken. With every easeful breath, with every mindful moment, we light up from within, and that light fills our entire body and shines out beyond. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. So my beautiful yogis, perhaps the next inhale is just a little longer, a little deeper than the last. You might want to twist or stretch or wiggle as we begin to bring our awareness back to our space, back to the day. And just in your own time, with eyes still closed if you can, we'll just gently bend the knees, we'll roll to one side in the little yogi recovery pose just for a breath or two. And from here we can rise to an easy seat, and we're just going to take a few final moments here just to sit peacefully with a little of what we've nurtured and nourished in our practice today. We might have nurtured and nourished a little sense of easefulness and calm, a little self-love, self-acceptance, or just embraced this opportunity to take a little time for ourselves. Maybe during our practice, we have just brought the body, the breath, and the mind a little closer together, a little more closely woven in harmony. And for me, this is what yoga is all about, these little moments of quiet, of connection. And just to finish our practice today, we'll take our nice inhale, we'll sweep the arms high. We'll bring the palms together. We're going to exhale the hands to heart center in prayer. From here, we can gently open the eyes, and to ourselves and each other, we say namaste, namaste. The light in me honors the light in you.